Okay, I'm back. I have filled in the playground with sand, and well, let's just go ahead and build a couple of rudimentary playground things. So let's get oak wood and oak planks, some nether fence, and I think that's about all. Maybe some red wool for the top of the playground thing, but that's about it. Okay, so let's make one of those things that it's like a fort sort of thing. Describing playground equipment to slide from aside from like slides and monkey bars and swings is actually kind of difficult. I mean, I know there are probably like industry terms for them, but I do not know any, as I am not a playground aficionado. So, oh. Okay, so let's see. Let's put this in the middle, and I don't know. So this will just be like one of those sort of things you can climb on and hang out under. With the big, obnoxiously colored plastic roof and all that good stuff. Let's replace these with full blocks, because that just looks kind of odd. Blocks just being there with nothing suspending them. It's just like, oh, what? See if I can parkour onto that. No. Maybe if it was less framey I could, but no. Let's get a ladder too, just so you can climb up this without having to do all kinds of fancy parkour moves and stuff. So let's put that there, and ladder up. There we go. Okay, now we're in business. So let's go ahead and make it a bit taller, and then we'll put on the roof. This keeps happening. Jeez. I'd kind of like to try that DxTory program, but I don't know if this is the case for the paid installation, but the free one basically forces you to sign up for installing a bunch of adware crap too, so that's more than a little off-putting, and that's exactly why I have not touched it yet. Because I don't want to install your adware crap. I mean, I understand you're offering a program for free, blah blah blah, but that's no reason to force people into using this really sketchy toolbars and, this program, that program. It's just, it's not, no. Okay, so as of right now, this isn't too very fun of a park, is it? Well, let us try and fix that by adding in some swings. Swings are always fun, right? Unless you fall and skin your knee. That's not very fun. So, let's see, let's just have this like in the middle, and then we'll have another one. I've done that before, believe me, it is not fun at all. Okay, well actually, let's make this one lower. There we go. And then we'll fly up. Come on, there we go, okay. And do this, and then we'll do this. I remember in the neighborhood I used to live in, people would always like flip the swings up over top of the metal part so that people couldn't use them. Yeah. And then one time they actually burned down the playground, and that was, hmm, I don't know what that was. It's probably just some kids from the trailer park or something, but anyway, let's add in a slide to this thing here. And, let's have it go out like here, maybe. So we'll have one piece at the bottom. There we go. One underneath there, one up. No, I mix that up a bit. Okay. Alright, and that's more or less what I meant to do. Okay, so let's put in more sports. And da 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 da. And more wood. Thing I didn't like about these sort of parks growing up is that they'd always be really old and really ill-maintained, so every last wooden thing would be really splintery, and you kind of put yourself at risk by touching it, because you'd get splinters more often than not. And they wouldn't just be the little ones that like stick under your fingernail. No, they'd be big, actual like pieces of wood. Not fun, but you know, when I was a kid, kids don't care. Till a little while after the fact when it stops hurting, and it's like, hey, let's go play at the park again. The park I just got a splinter at. It'll be fun. Gotta love being a kid. Okay, so let's see. This is coming along pretty well. Maybe I should make like monkey bars between these two. If I can get up to fly. Jeez, come on. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2. Let's do them like right down the middle and at about this height. And there we go. Okay, 1, 2. I love this texture pack. It is awesome. Originally, I had used Misa's, but then when the pack updated for the updates that included, I think, colored wood and stuff, I used it for a while, but then when I started to use colored wood more often in my designs, I was just kind of like, ew, this looks really weird, and I started looking around for other packs, because I did not like the way the wood looked. It always have like these weird features and stuff. And I mean, I know that there's a reason for everything, but I don't see why the maker of the pack couldn't have just taken the regular wood textures and then recolored those to more fit the new wood. That's what I would have liked. I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of change, but that's just the design choice more than anything. For me, anyway. An issue of design choice, I should say. Okay, so we have this thing, this very lame looking slide. Guess maybe I should do this with slabs instead. That'd make it look a bit more interesting. Let's use nether slabs, and let's do like, well, wait, no. Okay, let's put this down, and then, there we go, okay. That looks a tiny bit less lame. Whatever. Okay, so let's make a park bench on this side, and maybe another one on that side too. This is gonna end up like taking all of my recording time, but oh well, may as well be thorough since I'm doing this. So I think this is about the middle of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. So I need to make that 3 blocks wide. And then I guess I'll put like a 2-block wide bench and then a trash can next to it. That'll do. We're just gonna use the cauldron for that. Boom. Okay. And then let's see, where can I put it on this side? Looks like this is even too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, looks like it is even. So we're just gonna do the same thing then. 3 blocks wide and 2-block wide bench, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's do that, and put this down. Awesome. So there is the playground. This square will just be trees, which I guess I can go ahead and put down now. We're gonna use oak, and all we need is some bone meal, and dirt, and a tree branch of oak wood. Okay, so let's make these trees. We're gonna make them a bit taller by a technique that I learned recently. Because the default trees, I mean, sometimes they're big, sometimes they're tall, but most of the time they're just tiny little things that are barely more than scrub bushes, you know, like the low kind that you see as the undergrowth in forests. Now this is kind of my way of bypassing the usual tree shapes and sizes, just by making them block off the ground. It adds about 2 blocks of height, so that's a cool thing to do if you want trees that are a bit taller for landscaping or what have you. Personally, I don't do this too often unless I need to, but hey, choice is yours. You're the one who's building and stuff. Or just following along. I followed a lot of Let's Builds without actually building anything. Sometimes it's fun to watch other people build, even if you're not really interested in the subject, or architectural style, or yada yada. Wow, these ended up being way bigger than I had planned them to, but that's okay. Why not? I'll eventually put down more trees, like around the border here. Just a couple on this side, and none over here, because I want there to be a pond, like I mentioned earlier. Trees everywhere would kind of obstruct the view of a pond, so let's just put down one smaller tree, and that will be good for this. There we go, that rounds it out nicely, and we'll probably put trees around the square too, later on. Well, no, I may as well do that now. If I'm doing it, I may as well do it now. Okay, there's one tree, and I can't get out. There we go. And another. We're not going to make these taller. We're just going to make them just like a regular height. Just all I need, just a bit of tree cover to break up the monotony of this yard here and give the park square just a bit of shade and stuff on this side. So, there we go. Awesome. Maybe one more in this little kitty corner. And there we go. I wonder how long I've been going for. Like 40 minutes or so? Probably be rendering and uploading this stuff for about a week anyway, so. I just wish Vegas would render a bit faster. Windows Movie Maker that comes with Windows 7 is good for that, but it doesn't let you adjust the start or end times of the video or the volume, which are the two things that almost always need tweaking with my stuff, so that's not too good. Movie Maker, the way it was with the XP, that was perfect. I don't know why they had to go and change it up like the way they did, but it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, then again, a lot of things were perfect, but then somebody got the bright idea to streamline them and make them all user-friendly in that. Which ends up shaving off a bunch of features that were useful, radically changing the overall look, just making it a pain, really. And breaking the heart of anybody who's used the program and enjoyed it before. Just like YouTube and all the redesigns. I mean, yeah, it's mobile friendly now, but I don't know. They shaved off a lot of features like the search specific stuff and like the search filters is what I mean, and a lot of the other things like being able to actually rate a video on a basis of stars rather than just like, dislike. Because sometimes you don't particularly like or dislike a video, but you know, I mean, it's just, I mean, I guess it works in the general favor of people who actually produce content, simply because most people, I think, default towards liking the video unless it's just absolutely terrible, in which case it gets disliked. But anyway, enough of my endless, meaningless tangents. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little break here just to have something to drink, and I'll be back in a minute.